Hey, I have a second channel. Cube Comp MTDX.
Hey everybody, so here we are in the month of September 2022, and what's special about this month is it's going to be a big month for CPU wars. Of course, the CPU wars between AMD and Intel are heating up yet again. And I must say, it's always been exciting to see fierce competition between AMD and Intel, because for many years AMD was quite behind with, of course, the AM3 platform as well as the AM3 Plus platform. They just could not keep up with Intel at the time. And of course, we finally got Ryzen back in 2017, and the wars definitely heated up for sure. Now we have Zen 4 coming out, which is the Ryzen 7000 series. So the biggest thing about Ryzen 7000 is the new Socket AM5 platform. Finally, AMD is doing away with pin grid array CPUs. Intel has been close to 2 decades since they dropped the pin grid array package for the desktop CPU. That was dropped with Socket 478 with the Pentium 4 back in the early 2000s. Now with laptop processors, they continued to use pin grid array, but for desktop CPUs, of course, LGA 775 was, of course, the end of the PGA era for desktop on Intel. AMD, they kept on and on with PGA. I mean, of course, back then, around the time 775 came out from Intel, AMD, they, of course, had Socket 74939 out, and of course, AM2, and then AM2 Plus, which was essentially about the same socket. Then you had AM3, you had Socket FM2, 2 Plus, and of course, AM4, and with AM4, of course, the Ryzen, had so many pins and they were really tiny. Every time I've handled a Ryzen CPU, and I've handled quite a few of them, you always had that little bit of anxiety when you're handling that CPU because you're just worried you're going to bend the pin. So now AMD system builders get to have anxiety over the contacts in the motherboard, just like Intel builders have had for many years. So, of course, the contacts are now moving to the motherboard. The bottom of an AMD CPU will now look very similar to an Intel. And I must say, the new Socket AM5 package definitely looks interesting. I can't wait to get my hands on one sometime down the road. I'm not going to be getting one right away because, of course, I tend to wait until prices come down before I leap to a new platform. Of course, the Mid-Tower Lux will still be on AM4 for a little while. But the new design, which I'll show an image from the internet up here in the corner, definitely has a unique looking design, I must say. So, anyways, the new Ryzen 7000 series processors, they have a significant performance boost over Ryzen 5000 series. There are 4 processors that AMD is releasing soon. We have the Ryzen 9 7950X, which will start out at $699 US. We'll have the Ryzen 9 7900X, which will start out at $549 US. We'll have the Ryzen 7 7700X, which will debut at $399 US. And the Ryzen 5 7600X, which will start out at $299. And it looks like they're going to be available September the 27th. That's what I'm seeing here. So, the code name is, I think, Raphael, how we pronounce it. Yeah, September 27th. So, of course, the Ryzen 9 7950X will be a 16-core processor. The Ryzen 9 7900X will be a 12-core CPU. The Ryzen 7 7700X will be an 8-core processor. The Ryzen 5 7600X will be a 6-core processor and will have double the threads. So the TDP, by the way, in case you wondered, the TDP on the top end Ryzen 9 will, the max TDP, and I'm seeing here, is 170 watts and I think 230 watts maximum. And of course, these new processors will be featuring the new DDR5 memory. They will be featuring the new PCIe 5, and soon there will be new PCIe 5 SSDs launching, to my understanding. So, what's interesting about this new socket is, of course, like I mentioned, it's it looks very similar to newer Intel sockets because it's an LGA design. So yeah, there are several 5s here: DDR5, PCIe 5, 5nm process, Socket AM5, and up to I think 5.7 gigahertz. So I'm telling you guys, this is pretty cool. Definitely. So what I'm seeing, these new AMD processors are just absolutely cleaning house with Intel, and Intel is definitely going to have to come up with a response, a new product to compete. So yeah, so there's a lot of other more detailed videos out here on YouTube from the big channels like Linus Tech Tips and those like that. But I have to say, there's a few things I'm wondering. I'm going to have to research on this new platform. Is I wonder if the new socket will still work with the existing heatsink fan assemblies. I wonder, it's two things. I wonder if you'll still be able to use existing heatsink fans that clip on, or if you'll be able to use the ones that go through the motherboard using the 4 holes. That's something I kind of wonder. But yeah, this new Socket AM5 is definitely cool, guys. Some of y'all may know I've always been more of an AMD guy. I've been building mostly with AMD over the years, even during the years where AMD wasn't so impressive as far as performance goes, but they were always a good value choice. But yeah, it's really cool to see AMD yet again come out with such a nice product that's going to really light a fire under Intel's butt. So anyways, hope y'all enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.
Well everybody, that wraps it up for this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like the video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the computer channel, and be sure to tick that bell so you'll get notified when new videos are posted. Also, don't forget, I have a whole lot of other interesting videos here on the channel to check out. And also, in addition, I have a second channel, CubeCompMTDX, where I have all sorts of other videos not exactly related to technology. Links to the channels are available at the end of this video. Again, I thank you for your support and thanks for watching this video.